Hey there, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. Tonight we're going to do something a little bit different. I was supposed to get a lot more of the star ingredient, but given the price of it, I knew how much it was going to cost. I've cut it right back. However, everything else I'm keeping the same. So it will serve 6, but you just won't get as much of the star ingredient. What am I making? Asparagus with cheese and ham sauce. Here's what we need. There's still quite a lot of ingredients with it. So come on in and I'm going to talk you through what we're using and what I'm cutting out on and how to cook it. Let's go. Okay, so I bet you got quite a shock when you saw 1.5 kilos of asparagus, because 1.5 kilos of asparagus is a lot of asparagus. So I thought I'd cut it down to 3 bunches, which when I weighed it at that is 475 grams. So to get you 1.5 kilos, you're going to need 9 bunches, and that's not cheap. So cut this down if you want, like have less asparagus, but have the rest of the recipe as it is. Or just serve it to less people. It's up to you. If you've got heaps of asparagus, go for the 1.5 kilos. But as I say, it's quite expensive because that's going to be 9 bunches. And I'm pretty sure a bunch of asparagus doesn't actually vary in weight. So just so you know. 6 eggs, which we are going to hard boil. And I'm going to use this awesome little invention that was one of Mama's prizes a long time ago. You basically pop the eggs in, put the correct amount of water in per eggs and whether you want soft or hard boiled, and it cooks them perfectly. Now, normally if I was doing 1 or 2 eggs, I'd go, yeah, just do them on the stove top. But 6... I can do them in that. So that's going to cook the eggs for me. And it buzzes when they're done. So you don't need to go putting your timer on and playing guessing games. 50 grams of Gruyere, sorry if I pronounced it wrong, Gruyere cheese grated. Now, Aldi doesn't have it. I looked in Woolies, couldn't find it. So care of Mr. Google, I said, what can I use instead of? It said use cheddar, which I don't have cheddar. Or it said use mozzarella. Well, I had mozzarella kicking around in the freezer, so that's what I'm going with, because that gives you that nice stringy cheese. That's what you want. 20 grams of butter. That's what we're going to melt. That's why it's in my butter melting jug. For the sauce, 3 slices of cooked ham. I've just got some ham that was left over. My butcher gave me a surprise present for Christmas. And I've been thinking, what the hell am I going to do with that, since didn't have a Christmas. So I've been using it sometimes if I fancy a toasty. So that's half the reason why I chose this recipe, because I thought, oh good, I'll just finish off that ham. It's gone then. 50 grams of butter, that's in there. Half a cup of flour, that's plain flour. 1 cup of milk. I'm using, I had to go to Woolworths to get my shopping, so that was the light milk. I am back to the one from Aldi after this one's gone. So 1 cup of that. 60 mils of single cream. Now, single cream is just the thin one, and that's the light one. Salt and pepper, as much or as little as you want. And finally, a pinch of nutmeg. So if you did the recipe with all the asparagus, it will serve 6. If you do it with not all the asparagus, technically that should serve about 2. But I'd say 3 or whatever. Just use it as a side dish or an entree or something, or I don't know. Just go with it. Add something else to the side of it. Anyway, so we are also going to be using the stovetop, because we're going to bring a pan of water to the boil to boil this in. We're going to use the egg cooker for the eggs. And at the end, we are going to need something to put our asparagus in, because it's going to go in the oven when everything's all together for about 10 minutes with the cheese on top. So it's going to be awesome. We've just got to get it all there. And let's go. Okay, so I've got the water on to boil with a bit of salt in it. We're also going to be needing to keep 1 cup of the water from memory. Yeah, 1 cup of the liquid that the asparagus is cooking in. So don't underwater the saucepan, because when we cook them, we need them to stand up and keep the spears above the water, which they're going to tilt, but they'll be fine. And what it suggested us to do is to just trim them. Sometimes you got like a little bit of a woody end on them, but they look pretty good. So what I'm going to do, it recommends to tie them up with some kitchen string. That's just basically so they don't go all over the joint. So if you don't have kitchen string, I don't really think I'd cook them with the elastic bands around them. I don't know if other countries have different ways of selling asparagus, but here in Australia, when we buy a bunch of asparagus, that's how they pack them, which is pretty cool. So they're all nice and neat, and it's very good for you. So if you haven't tried it, it's a good one to try. There's some sort of vitamins that's good for you. So what we're going to do, I might just tie them all together. I think at the end of the day that will be easier. I keep the elastic bands because they do come in handy for things in the kitchen. And they're purple, which is pretty cool. All right, so this is kitchen string. I brought kitchen string a while ago. Don't know if you've ever seen the movie Bridget Jones' Diary, you'll laugh when someone says use string, because she made that blue soup because of the string she used. So make sure you buy kitchen string, not blue string. It was pretty funny. All right, just going to tie them all together, because I think if we tie them in bunches, we're just going to be chasing them around. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, so that's what they look like. The water's almost coming to the boil, so while we're waiting for it to boil, we're going to get the eggs ready. So I'll get the egg thing out of the box and then I'll be back. Okay, so this is Mr. Egg Creations here. So as you can see, it's got a little bit of it looks like a UFO actually. So you sit your 6 eggs in. So it does 7, just so you know. And what you need to do, on the end of it, it's got a sharp pin. You just got to pop it on it, because what that does is it just creates a breather hole. It's been a while since I've done this. Don't be scared, little eggs. 2 more. All right. And then on the side of your measuring cup, where it's got a whole egg coloured in, you go to where it says 6, and then you put that much water in it, and you turn it on, and it will make the worst noise. It will make you come running from everywhere as soon as it's ready. So I'll be back soon. Okay, so I've sort of got the asparagus with its heads sticking out. They are steaming. If I had used a bigger saucepan, I feel like it would have been really too tall. So I'm just going to try this and turn them over. The eggs are cooking away nicely in their little UFO hut. So while this is all going on, we're going to start and get the ham sauce ready. So I'm going to grab the small saucepan and I'll be back. So the funny moment just happened where the buzzer goes off and the cats sort of look at you like, what's that noise? So our eggs, these are going to be very hot, so I suggest you get your oven mitts. And I can smell the asparagus, which is good. It's saying that your asparagus should be very tender, but the strange thing is it's still got to cook in the oven for 10 minutes. Alright, so that is what our eggs look like. I'm going to put these straight into cold water. It cools them down and it makes them easier to crack. So I don't suggest you touch these. Just pop them straight in. Oh, that one popped. So yeah, good invention. I do, as I say, I recommend it if you do boiled eggs a lot. The other little attachments that you saw me take out, you can actually do a poached egg in it. We never used it for poached eggs. Mainly because I either like doing them on the stove top, or there's a thing that we have that you can do them in the microwave where they take about 30 seconds. So I wouldn't get this invention out just for doing that. But that is brilliant for doing that many of those. And then you just got to let it cool and then you can put it back away. So well done, Egg Creations. All right, so the asparagus I'm giving probably about another 3 minutes. So what we might do, I've just very carefully placed the spoon as the shield because the tips are very tender. And I just realised when I said we'll start and make the sauce that we can't make the sauce because I need a cup of the water. And I don't want to put extra water in just to take it out because it won't have that asparagus-y taste. So as you can see, they're starting to fold down. Now, you don't need to be too switched on to realise that if they're folding down, it means that they're actually cooking. So they are. They're tenderising. Okay, that's perfect. All right, so the buzzer's gone off. So we're going to turn these off. And then what we'll do, we'll go back over to the other side of the kitchen so we can lift them out and then I can get the water that I need. And then I might even make the sauce in this saucepan so that it stays hot. So let's go. Okay, so we have this. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop that down there and very gently lift the asparagus out. So tongs would probably be the best. As it said, do them into a couple of bunches. If you do end up using the 9 bunches, you probably would want to try and tie them up separately. Although if you're using that much, you may not have to because it will probably all just stay. See how strong my kitchen string is. Oh, look. Ah! Okay. Whew. It's the steam. Oh, perfect. You can see them going a bit floppy, so you know they've got to be good. All right, look at that. So just cut those with the kitchen scissors. Kitchen scissors are scissors that you use for chopping food, not scissors that you keep in the kitchen, just so you know. Some people have 2 different ideas of that. All right, the string was awesome. Didn't turn the water blue. All right, so try and have all your spears the same way up. Perfect. Look at that. All right, now take out 1 cup of the water. Now what I would recommend you do, keep that water. So I'm going to get a jug. That is very good for watering your garden, especially if you've got plants that are going through summer and it's crap, because you're going to get the best nutrients you can out of that. So what I'll do, that's how much I need. When that cools, that's a good amount of water there. All right, so the beauty of using the same saucepan obviously is that it's hot, so as soon as you put the butter in that, it's just going to melt. So after saying that, in goes that 50 grams of butter. We're going to use the whisk with this one. All right, we're going to pop back over to the other side. I'm going to keep that to deglaze it. All right, let's go. Perfect, look at that. It's already melting and I haven't even got it turned on yet. All right, now I'll just put it on 2. I keep forgetting which one it is because I always mainly use the back one. Okay, so while that butter's melting, once it's melted, we're going to put in the flour, make it into a paste. It's a white sauce, so that's how we make white sauce. That is the second time I've knocked that on the floor. The joys of having a very small kitchen. Okay, so it can go up there. All right, we're ready. In goes our flour. Stir it in. Oh, we were supposed to put a bit of this sauce on the bottom of the asparagus spears. Oopsies. You know what? I'll just lift it up and tip it under. It's doable. Oh, there it is. Okay, I need my water. Bit of that into there. Deglaze that. All right. So if you're getting the hang of the deglazing thing, it's basically just washing something out with something that's hot, or water basically. All right, so we're making a dough. It really is a dough. It's the thickest sauce ever. All right, I'm going to chuck the milk straight in. And we're going to stay with this over the heat because we do not want lumpy sauce. And we're not even over heat, we're only on 2. All right. It's fine. White sauce can be painful to cook. I think it's probably just because there's so much flour in it. You do not want a lumpy sauce. So stick with it with your whisk. Don't be tempted to turn it up any higher than 2, which would be about low. And if worse comes to worse and you don't get all the lumps out, all you do is you just put it through a colander before you put the ham in. Come on. I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. It's got a few lumps in it, but it's all good. Let's go back over to the other side of the kitchen and we'll get the next step going. Okay, so once your sauce is looking like this, we're going to stir in the cream. and season with salt and pepper and a pinch of nutmeg. Okay, it's a lot better now. There we go. You just got to persevere with it. If you think it looks like shit and you just can't handle it, get yourself a bowl and a colander, strain it through, push as many lumps through as you can, and then pop it back into your saucepan and just start again. Well, not start again, but you know what I mean. I'm not going to put too much salt in because the ham's got salt in it. Pinch of nutmeg as well. That's a big pinch. All right, in goes the ham then. All right. Bye-bye, beautiful ham. Now, you do not want to be using your whisk because I just got the biggest ball of stuff out of that earlier. Oh, there it is. My asparagus shield. Beautiful. Look at that. This sauce would also go good with macaroni if you wanted to put some cheese in it as well. Although you wouldn't be putting the asparagus water in. Alright, that's come out good. So I'm happy with that. You can put a bit of it underneath, but I'd probably just... don't worry about it. Alright, now with the eggs, we're going to bring them over. Okay. So to peel eggs, they're really easy. Crack them on a surface. And just peel them off. Once they're all peeled, then we're just going to chop them up roughly. Alright, I'll be back when they're all peeled. Okay, so to chop the eggs, I'd just chop them lengthways. Look how perfect they are, hard boiled. Now it sort of suggests that you do it in layers, but once again, I think I'd just chuck everything on top. If you had all the asparagus, different story. I'd say yes, you definitely need to do the layers. But because I've got everything else the same and the only thing that's different is the asparagus, technically I should have more sauce and more egg and everything, which I don't mind because I do like egg. And egg goes very well with asparagus. So I'm just quite simply going to layer it on top. Like so. Oh, pop the butter in the microwave for 20 seconds because we will need that. Okay. Look at that. Alright, so that's all our egg on top. Sounds like our butter is melted perfectly. Okay. Drain the asparagus. Yep. Okay. So I'm just going to put the sauce over the top. I think that was the general idea. Not make it like a lasagna dish. Everything's going to find its own happy spot while it's cooking. The white sauce will go down in between everything and the egg will just absorb it all. It'll be awesome. Just so you know, this dish does take quite a while to cook as well, so... Or maybe it's me, I don't know. Could be me. Alright. That is awesome. Okay. Once that's done, sprinkle the top of the dish with the grated cheese. Don't forget if you can get the Gruyere. Excellent. If not, mozzarella. Swiss cheese, Jarlsberg, anything that's a really stringy cheese, they called it when I Googled it. Melt the butter and pour over the cheese. All right, we're going to cook this in the oven at 220, but I'm going to do mine at 200 for 10 minutes. But we just want the cheese to brown. So I will see you in 10. Look at that. Looks good already, and it's not even cooked. See you soon. And there we have it. Asparagus with cheese and ham sauce. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. I'm looking forward to trying this. I will catch you on our next adventure.